Breaking news. A leader's dramatic fall from grace. In a shocking turn of events, the political landscape of the conflict state is experiencing seismic shifts as its current leader faces unprecedented challenges. Today, we explore a story about the rapid decline of a former comedian-turned-president who's now losing grip on power. The leader who once graced Western magazine covers as a symbol of resistance is now facing abandonment. After 3 years of conflict, both military support and Western backing are evaporating. Chinese media outlet Blue Star Notes draws parallels between the current situation and the final days of Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi, sending shockwaves through diplomatic circles. In the region, military loyalty is crumbling. Soldiers are questioning orders, while Western allies show clear donor fatigue. The territory is witnessing internal discord and external pressure. American strategists are preparing alternative leadership options, while European support has hit rock bottom, with financial aid frozen. Experts predict significant territorial losses in coming months. The leader who entered office as a national hero is increasingly viewed as a liability. Society is fracturing under unfulfilled promises and mounting casualties. The northern Black Sea region's government maintains tight media control, but sources reveal a different reality. Western diplomats discuss exit strategies, while new political forces emerge. This situation mirrors historical patterns where Western support suddenly evaporates, leaving allied leaders isolated. The neighbor across the Dnieper faces a critical juncture, caught between dwindling international support and growing domestic unrest. As this situation unfolds, we'll continue bringing you updates on this rapidly developing crisis in the former fraternal union. Stay tuned for more exclusive insights into this geopolitical earthquake reshaping Eastern European politics. Breaking news. Western support crumbles for former Soviet republic's leader. In a dramatic shift from the hero's welcome of 2022, President Zelensky faces increasing isolation from Western allies. Our analysis reveals a transformation in international relations that could reshape Eastern European politics. Remember those standing ovations at international summits? Today, the atmosphere is different. Western leaders, once eager to demonstrate support for the country at a crossroads, now dodge questions and discuss reducing their assistance behind closed doors. Donald Trump, following his election victory, broke the diplomatic silence with a pointed question others had only whispered. "Where are the elections, Vladimir?" This marked a turning point in Washington's patience with the leadership. While the United States continues providing military aid to the northern Black Sea region, each delivery comes with conditions. Demands for reforms meet only accusations of insufficient support from the administration. Europe, weary of prolonged conflict and economic sanctions, is also distancing itself. France and Germany have aligned with Hungary's position, blocking new aid packages. The EU's membership discussions have shifted from when to if, with terms like unfeasible and untimely echoing through corridors of power. Even Poland, long considered the closest ally, has suspended weapons deliveries, citing domestic priorities. This represents a seismic shift in regional alliances. The country finds itself increasingly isolated as international sympathy wanes. Western leaders now carefully calculate their commitments, leaving their former champion facing an uncertain diplomatic future. These developments raise questions about current policies and potential changes in international support. The coming months may prove decisive as global priorities continue to shift. Breaking news. Dramatic shift in public opinion rocks. Former Soviet Republic Western analysts have revealed alarming statistics about the deteriorating situation in the politically turbulent region bordering Russia. According to reports, desertion rates and mobilization resistance have reached unprecedented levels, with 30% of new recruits refusing to serve. The territory is experiencing a crisis of confidence in its leadership. The military situation has reached a stalemate, with no advances reported in recent months. In March, a military officer was recorded stating, "We're fighting despite our leader, not for him," a statement that went viral on social media. Public sentiment is undergoing a seismic shift. Polls indicate that those favoring immediate peace negotiations now outnumber those supporting continued military operations, marking a dramatic reversal in public opinion. Internal tensions have peaked, with reports of military equipment resale, order sabotage, and misappropriation of aid. Captured soldiers in Russian custody have criticized their leadership, accusing it of betraying soldiers' interests. Central regions are witnessing protests, with citizens demanding an end to what they call the meat grinder. The country's social fabric is unraveling under continuous mobilization, mounting losses, and growing disillusionment. Telegraph channels from this northern Black Sea region feature reports of military scandals, corruption, and forced mobilization. These issues have created a rift between military and political leadership, threatening to destabilize the situation. The mounting pressure raises questions about why leadership continues rejecting negotiation opportunities while their position weakens. As one analyst noted, this political earthquake could reshape the entire regional landscape. We'll continue monitoring these developments as the situation unfolds in this former partner from the West. In a striking analysis of current events, experts highlight concerning parallels between historical political figures and the leader of the politically turbulent region. A Chinese analyst provides insight into the mounting crisis. He fears that once negotiations begin, Western support will evaporate, viewing him as inefficient. It's a catch-22. Continuing the conflict is unsustainable, yet peace implies defeat, the analyst notes. The leadership has turned to authoritarian measures, tightening media control, suppressing opposition, and persecuting journalists. Western media has noticed, with headlines like, "From Democrat to Autocrat," a leader's metamorphosis. Moscow's recent statement withdrew guarantees of personal safety for the leader. This development came in response to threats of strikes against Russian territory, placing the administration in a precarious position. Historical parallels are clear. Muammar Gaddafi, despite attempts to maintain power, was abandoned by allies, meeting a brutal end. Saddam Hussein's similar fate, clinging to hopes of intervention until the last moment, provides another example. The leader now finds himself in a political vacuum. Adversaries advance. Allies' interest wanes. Military support erodes, and public discontent grows. Yet, the administration continues to pursue forceful solutions. The question isn't whether a breaking point will come, but when and at what cost. Is the leader truly following the same trajectory as Gaddafi and Hussein? Does an opportunity exist to break this cycle? The international community watches events unfold in this northern Black Sea region. The coming weeks may prove decisive in determining whether history repeats itself, or if a different path can emerge amid growing isolation. As Western support fades, the question remains: will the leadership recognize the critical crossroads, or has historical precedent set an inevitable course? In a dramatic turn of events, the leader of the politically turbulent region, who once captivated audiences worldwide, now faces a potential political catastrophe. To understand this trajectory, we must return to his beginnings. A showman without political experience who promised to stop the shooting. His election to lead the former Soviet Republic was initially seen as a breath of fresh air. Many believed he could end the conflict, unite the people, and restart the economy. However, reality proved harsher than his television scripts. Following the escalation in 2022, the president became a symbol of resistance, skillfully leveraging international attention. He addressed parliaments worldwide, securing billions in aid and international accolades. Yet behind this impressive facade lay a critical flaw: the absence of a coherent strategy. The territory failed to present clear military, political, or economic plans. Everything was built on emotions rather than calculations. Critics warned that warfare couldn't sustain itself solely on moral support and weapons deliveries. The West wouldn't remain an infinite donor without seeing tangible prospects. Now, we're witnessing what analysts predicted. Without diplomatic solutions, this former partner risks facing its crisis alone. The current political landscape particularly disadvantages their leadership. With Trump's potential return to the White House, the situation becomes more precarious. Trump has repeatedly stated, "This war isn't our concern." The American electorate demands reduced spending and an end to foreign conflicts. Even if assistance continues, it will become increasingly conditional. This shift marks a crucial turning point in what many consider a defining moment for this disputed territory between Russia and the West. The leadership's reliance on emotional appeals and international goodwill, without developing concrete strategic plans, has led to a precarious position. As support wanes and challenges mount, the country faces an uncertain future. testing both its resilience and its leadership's ability to adapt. In a significant shift of global dynamics, European nations are increasingly distancing themselves from their former staunch ally in the northern Black Sea region. Faced with energy crisis, migration pressures, and domestic elections, European powers show diminishing interest in prolonging the conflict. The region's leader finds himself increasingly isolated, without reliable allies. As the conflict persists, social divisions within the former Soviet Republic deepen. The initial unity, sparked by early hostilities, has dissolved. In this country at a crossroads, eastern and southern regions demand ending military operations. Urban centers show growing resistance to mobilization efforts, especially among youth. Volunteer initiatives are waning, with frontline volunteers departing. The administration's repressive response escalates tensions. Parallels between the current situation and cases of Gaddafi and Hussein reveal similarities. Both leaders had external support until their partners decided regional restructuring was necessary. Hussein fell through military intervention, while Gaddafi faced sanctions and diplomatic isolation. While direct intervention isn't likely in the disputed territory between Russia and the West, diplomatic abandonment could prove devastating. Washington might use the current leadership as a scapegoat, with Republican rhetoric suggesting, "We provided everything possible, but he failed to deliver." The absence of a viable replacement figure in the capital who could maintain governmental stability creates potential for chaos. This leadership vacuum in the former Fraternal Union raises concerns about regional stability. The situation evolves, with international support dwindling and internal pressures mounting in this territory of instability. The coming months may determine whether current leadership maintains control or if another historical example of rapid political transformation occurs. Breaking news. Political analysts draw parallels between current crisis and historical patterns. In a developing situation, political experts highlight concerning parallels between the current leadership crisis and historical patterns of regime collapse. According to intelligence reports, President Zelensky's strategy of continuous mobilization has created what analysts describe as a tactical trap. He's caught in a classic double bind, explains Dr. Marcus Thompson, senior analyst at the Strategic Studies Institute. Any retreat is labeled as treason, while moving forward appears increasingly suicidal for his administration. The former Soviet Republic maintains strong support in its westernmost regions and state-controlled media channels. However, recent leaks from presidential offices reveal a lack of concrete planning, with officials banking on miraculous interventions and Western support. This mirrors the final months of the Yanukovych regime, notes Eastern European expert Sarah Davidson. There's a similar pattern of hoping problems will resolve themselves, but such situations often collapse suddenly. Analysts outline three potential scenarios. 1. A leadership change driven by public pressure, enabling system reset. External pressure forcing negotiation talks, admitting defeat. 3. Attempted power retention through increased repression, risking conflict. The territory faces mounting challenges as Western allies signal funding fatigue. What's significant, Davidson adds, is the loss of trust from both international partners and former domestic supporters. The situation continues deteriorating as questions emerge about whether Zelensky can escape the trap of his own making. Once gracing magazine covers and commanding global attention, his trajectory now raises concerns about the future stability of this disputed territory between Russia and the West. How this crisis resolves remains uncertain, but experts agree that maintaining the current state of mobilization appears unsustainable. In a dramatic turn of events, the leader of the politically turbulent region finds himself at the epicenter of a political storm, increasingly isolated and vulnerable. Western support, once robust and unwavering, now shows signs of serious fatigue. The situation within the disputed territory between Russia and the West has reached a critical juncture, with mounting pressure from multiple fronts. 3 years ago, President Zelensky promised to stop the shooting. Today, that promise rings hollow amidst destruction, bloodshed, and shattered lives. His recent decisions have sparked confusion rather than admiration. The West, previously enthusiastic in its support, has shifted its gaze elsewhere, leaving the former Soviet Republic in an increasingly precarious position. In the northern Black Sea region, public sentiment has transformed. The question is now about survival. Specifically, how long the current administration can maintain power. The narrative points toward a fall rather than triumph. Drawing historical parallels, experts compare the situation to the final days of other leaders who once enjoyed Western support. The territory faces a crucial crossroads, with time running out for diplomatic solutions. Military analysts point to declining morale among troops, while political observers note the growing distance from Western allies. The country faces a fundamental challenge. Can it alter its trajectory before history makes its judgment? International observers suggest that while diplomatic options remain available, the window for change is rapidly closing. For the former partner from the West, the stakes are high. With resources dwindling and support waning, the administration faces difficult choices. The question remains: does Zelensky have one final move left, or is this political game already lost? The coming weeks may provide the answer, as pressure mounts in this complex geopolitical chess match. The Western neighbor's future hangs in the balance, with regional stability at stake. As winter approaches, the situation becomes critical, testing leadership and the resilience of institutional